Running. Okay, that's working. Okay, so let me get the presentation up, and we'll do a little formal bit at the beginning, and then we can just sort of relax and get into this. Okay, put that. See when anyone else turns up. Guess there. That's running, that's running. Okay, let's go. So welcome. I'm Nicolas David Ngan of the Centre for Conscious Ascension, and this is a soul contract reading webinar, how to help others transmute their karma into their gifts of service with this work. I'll read out the little spiel we have for this for guys on YouTube, you guys there who are watching this cold, then we can relax. Have you noticed how people turn away from the biggest karmic challenges they face in their lives, no matter how hard they've tried, if they're just too painful for them to face, if they lack the spiritual map of life to overcome them? How many of you guys have seen that? Hands up. You've seen people struggle and it just never gets better. Okay. So this free live webinar is how you can help those people identify these core karmic patterns and how to go about transmuting them. So they can do the good bit, which is so they can deliver their gift of service to the world, that special thing they've been looking for their entire life. Okay. So we're talking about the other 2 or 3% of the population who are light workers who are trying to get up and running. So I'd like to know why you guys are here. I saw a couple of you yesterday already. Nice to see you again. I'm popular today. It's great. So most people are still working in North America and they watch a video later, but I can't. This is the evening now in the UK, so I can't really go much later than this. So maybe you guys want to just sort of introduce yourselves, just say where you are, what brought you here, and what you'd like from this webinar. So I've met all of you before, just so that people can get a feel for it. Then I get a feel for the overall energy. So just who would like to go first? Just wave at me, okay? Michelle?
Hi, Nicolas. Nice to see you again.
Yeah.
So my name is Michelle. I'm in Calgary, Canada, and I am here. I'm actually signed up to do the soul contract training at the end of the month, and I'm debating whether to do the divine healing in March. And so I'm here really just to get a better feel of how I can integrate this work into the work that I'm already doing with my clients. I mentioned yesterday, I've been in private practice for about 3 years, and I integrate mental health with this kind of work, like the energetic clearing, subconscious clearing, quantum healing. And I'm just kind of feeling stagnant in my business, and I feel like I need to amp it up a bit. And this feels like kind of the next step. So I'm excited to be here and learn more.
Okay, thank you. Who's next? Peyton.
Hi, Peyton. I don't have a practice or anything. I just did Divine Healing 1. I've had lots of work though for quite a few years. I have a practitioner that I work with, and I really like Divine, obviously. That's why I want to help people too. It's like my thing. I really do want to help people. It's like the only thing I want to do. And I feel like Soul Contract will help me and help my family and help obviously everybody else. But I feel like there's a lot that I need to clean up personally or whatever. So I just wanted to learn more. It's all very interesting to me. I love all this stuff. So I'm in Texas, sorry, Fort Worth. So I don't know. That's all. Glad to be
Okay.
here.
Thanks, Peyton. Nice to see you again. Ruth, do you want to have a say?
Hi, folks. I'm Ruth. I'm in Southern California, and I'm older and starting a second business. And have retired from the matrix, and so getting some new insights, and I'm considering signing up for this program, Soul Contract, and also the Divine Healing to incorporate into my practice. Kind of as a health coach at this point in time, but it may change through this training. We'll see.
Yeah, so manufacturer's warning. If you do other therapies and you come to us, you're going to change what you're going to do. What'll happen is that you'll integrate what we do with what you do, but it'll radically change your practice, just so you're prepared for that. It won't be business as usual, because the frequency of this stuff is so high, it just really reaches people and it transforms you and it'll transform your clients. Just so I thought I'd just let you know up front. So you'll view what you do quite differently. And the sort of people who turn up will evolve into something different as well. Okay, it really accelerates whatever the good foundation you guys have already set up. It'll build upon that. So, like Michelle, you'll have a completely different, non-stagnant practice if you could get into this, because the frequency will just amplify what you're doing, and it'll help your existing clients. Some will come with you because they want it. Others will drop away, but then a whole bunch of new people, more aligned and exciting for you and them, will turn up. That's what the most practitioners experience. So just be open to lots of change. So if you're drawn to this, it means you'll have the practice you desire, but over a bit of time. That's what will actually happen. Because the frequency of God's truth in this work is so powerful that people just get magnetized to you. They don't know why they've come, but their soul will gravitate to you. I'm going to say, okay, Michelle, I know unconsciously you're going to give me something I really need here. Now, let's do it. They don't know what, but that's why they come. Okay, soul contract has an energy of its own. It's like, it's an awakening, and people will come when they're ready. They can only find you when they're ready. But once they find you, they'll tell lots of other people about it. So it just spreads like wildfire by word of mouth. And people will come to you saying, okay, my friend told me about what you do, Michelle. I don't know what it is, but I must have it. Here's the money. Let's go. Because she's completely changed from that reading, and I want mine. That's what tends to happen with us, this work. Okay. And because you're all interested in soul contract and divine healing, there's a very strong synergy between the two, what the practitioners have discovered. And people tend to come to you because they want a reading. So you'll then say, okay, there's 7 aspects in this system that we've found out how far you've progressed in your soul contract. And there's specific issues you have to address. And that's when you bring your divine healing in. And you can laser target it at the issues you've identified in the soul contract. And because you've gone really deep with the client, and they know exactly what the issues are, and you've dissolved their ego, a big layer of ego defenses, and they say, okay, Peyton, let's just get on with it. It's all true. My ego doesn't like it, but I do. Let's go. And then they'll come back for repeat business from divine healing and all your other therapies. So what you do is you get very loyal repeat client business, and they want to go deep. That's why they came, because they get amazing results, and they know it's true, and it's true, fast, and deep. So it builds quite strong businesses because the technologies are so cutting edge and just so fast and powerful, and it raises everyone's consciousness. So that's to answer the broader question you guys have collectively asked. But I'll get into the detail now. Okay. So thank you for your feedback there. Okay, so let's get into back to this diagram. So we know why we're here. So we'll start from the beginning. The core principle of the soul contract work is that our karma contains our spiritual gift of service, which is a pretty strange thing to say. It's a very strange thing to say. So there are 2 laws of the universe that run with the soul contract work and in life. there's a law of attraction. So we want to create the good stuff in our life. How many of you guys have seen the movie The Secret? Anyone seen that movie? Okay. So they talk about the law of attraction, but the thing they don't talk about is the law of opposites. Okay, the stuff that's created by our soul contract that creates all the things we don't want. So we all hope that the law of attraction will create all the good stuff we want, but to get to the good stuff, we have to burn through our karma. And the law of opposites creates all the things we don't like in life. So we get to what we do want. And our ego is naturally pain avoidant, so therefore it moves away from the painful stuff. Okay? So in order to get our gift of service, for light, we're going to get the gift of service. It requires them to turn into, first understand what their karma is, then turn into it. Okay? To feel it, to claim our gift of service. So to do the very thing which is opposite of what they instinctively want to do. They want to run away. Most people are in avoidance and want to run away from the painful stuff. So they get stuck, as you've seen, and they're not too happy by the time they reach middle age. People get pretty worn out, bitter, and often give up on life because they don't understand this core concept, the secret of how life works. All right. So the very gift that light workers ask for is sitting in the most painful experiences that they go through in life. And that's the last place we will think to actually look. Okay. So on the training, what happens is that you become a soul contract reader. You are the answer to that search. How do I? People come to you, say, well, I know this special thing I'm here to do, Michelle. What is it? And how do I get there? And life sucks at the moment. It's really tough. So perfect candidate for a reading, okay? Because they'll come to you at a crossroads. They usually come when they are in a lot of stress and pain, or they've had to leave their 3D job, can't take it anymore, or it's usually a crisis, an identity crisis in life. Or they've done a lot of work on themselves and they want another level of understanding of what their mission is. That's the two reasons why they come. And they're usually very compelling why they want to come. So the soul contract training helps you decode the secrets of the blueprint of life for a spiritual seeker, hidden within the sounds of their name. And what a soul does is it basically examines all its past lives. It does this. Okay. It has all these lifetimes here. This is now, for example, through time. And the soul is going along like this. And the astral plane is coming down, creating a personality construct, experiences that life with a specific name. Then the physical body dies, it goes back, takes all the memory, selling the memory back. Another lifetime, creates another experience. And these experiences have common patterns in them, which a soul will explore over many lifetimes. Think of these different colors as common patterns. And so what it does for each lifetime, it looks at all the previous ones. And it says, well, what do I need to learn next? What's the next increment in growth for me to increase the amount of unconditional love in me? And so it chooses a name, set of vibrations in whatever language it's in. It chooses the time zone, the country, or the frequency of that culture, the parents, the genetic structure, the DNA, all the things it wants to learn. It sets in place agreements with other souls, usually from past lives, to meet up at certain times. And they turn out to be your partners, kids, nemesis, whatever. They turn up so you can experience life. So what the work does is it enables you to decode what has been created from the sound of someone's name, and it's programmed into their DNA, into their energy fields, and into a substance called karmic matrix, which is like a gray cobweb substance that flows through fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensional energy bodies. And it is radiating out to the matrix. Okay? And creating what we call a holographic bubble around them of their subjective reality. Okay, because everyone, you can be in the same space, but as someone else, but they're having a different experience because of what their soul contract, the name is actually creating. And so what it will allow you to do is see, okay, let's break this thing down. We decode the soul contract by matching the sounds of 22 ancient Hebrew sounds to the sounds of someone's name in whatever language that is. And then we decode it. We'll show you in a little while. But the things we are going to find out from the soul contract are the following. You'll learn how to reveal the spiritual map of life that will empower your clients to identify and overcome their karma. In other words, turn into it and transmute it into their gifts of service. Gifts of service. Thing they've been looking for. It's a real precious thing when a light worker can find that. Light workers are very driven unconsciously to find this. Then more consciously as they awaken. Help them express more of their talents, achieve more of their goals. And this is both physically, spiritually, and physically. And if they can get all these consciously up and running, work on them, and we use divine healing to clear the issues, preventing these coming fully online, then they can start to manifest different levels of their soul or life purpose. Okay, and that's when life gets very fulfilling. It's very rare for humans to actually fully come online with us because they can't get through this stuff, they get stuck. So if you become a soul contract reader, practitioner, then you can help people do that. So you can facilitate radical life change in a reading with somebody. I remember when Frank Upper, the founder of this, he gave me a reading in 1990 when I just started on my spiritual journey, and this was in Arizona. It was my first visit to the States, and I was very new to this. And he took out a piece of paper and drew the Star of David, asked for my birth certificate name, and then converted it into Hebrew and extracted the Hebrew numbers and analyzed them on the star. And the result of that was he explained my entire life in that 1 hour. My life completely changed. I went from feeling lost, bouncing off the walls, not knowing what was going on. It was chaos and craziness in my life, to complete understanding of the order or why all this stuff was going on. And it helped me align to what my contract was. And so I stopped wasting doing things which didn't work. So most people live a life, it's like trying to drive from, say, LA to New York. They're in a car at night with the lights off. No sat nav, no map. So what happens if that happens in life? You're going to crash a lot. You're not going to get too far. So soul contracts like spiritual sat nav. You switch the lights on. You got your sat nav on, and basically it is showing you the optimal route spiritually to get from LA to New York on the unique path that your client's meant to take. So you're not going to crash anymore. You're going to run into some obstacles, but at least you've got the lights on, you've got consciousness on. And so you're actually going to work out how to get there in the most efficient way and hopefully more fulfilling way. So it moves us out of stuckness. You move clients out of stuckness with that. So the way this works is like this. Okay. So we have the sound of your name, set of Hebrew frequencies, because Hebrew comes out of the flower of life, which is the geometry of Great Spirit as it created this universe. That's why you see it on sacred buildings all over the world, because they're saying we understand how creation got created. It comes out of the geometry of the flower of life. And so when we match the 22 ancient Hebrew sounds to the sound of your name, we get Hebrew numbers coming out of it. And we decode them on the Star of David. And on here, there are 3 triangles. There's a large downward pointing triangle and large upward pointing triangle. I'm just going to turn a cooling fan on just a sec on the computer. Got overheated earlier. And so The physical triangle represents the physical side of life. And we are brand new personality ego avatars in each lifetime. None of us have existed before in past lives at a personality level. Our soul has with different personalities. So we need to learn to walk and talk, get conditional responses, get up and running in life. Relationships, careers, houses, all that sort of stuff. And so between the ages of 35 and 42, which is the sixth cycle, we get restless. So we go through the dark night of the soul, midlife crisis, or spiritual awakening. How many of you guys had that? Either about that time or earlier, could be later, where we question everything because the soul's saying, okay, we've got established here. Now I want to get on with what's really important, which is to activate the spiritual triangle. And it's hoping that you've done enough work on the physical triangle to actually form a good foundation to get on with the spiritual mission, which is why everything changes. People get divorced, leave jobs, change countries, all sorts of stuff happens about that time. And the spiritual mission becomes more predominant. The physical triangle is still running though. So in each of these big triangles, these three aspects, we have karma in the physical talents, physical goals. So the karmic pattern here is a set of unresolved past life issues which come in here. And that creates the negative context through the law of opposites, all the things you don't like in physical karma. And the idea is it triggers when you were younger, okay, is that the physical talents which are latent activate, and if it's a good match, they infuse into the physical karma, and they transmute it into the positive energies of that number. So you get the positive gifts, which is the answer to people's question, what's my gift of service? It sits in here, and it happens in the spiritual karmic position as well. All the negative stuff comes up, and as we overcome it, it becomes positive. For example, my physical karma is a 3-3, which is I'm being unworthy to be loved. But as I transmute it, I come out of hiding for not feeling worthy to be seen to actually teach, which is what I do now. My spiritual karma is a 9, which is about feeling very disempowered. So moving from feeling like a victim in life to being very empowered to empower others. So that's how the opposites work for me. As the talents get stronger, they help achieve the physical goals if it's a good match. And same here, as these spiritual talents get stronger, by becoming that karmic pattern there, they move towards the spiritual goals up here. That comes online. And then your client is consciously working on all these 6 aspects because you've explained how they work. And so over time, this is percentage complete. Okay, most people do this. It's very slow, and they're going to go through these numbers multiple lifetimes. But if you've given them a reading, they're going to go like that. They're going to go a lot faster because they're going to spend 80% of their effort on the 20% of things that really matter. Okay. But what the soul does, it's at the helm here. It triggers these different patterns. You usually work on 1 or 2 of these at once. And the emphasis will be on those for several months or years, and then you might shift to another one. So you can guide your clients to show them how to do that. And if they do that on all of these, that starts to manifest the soul destiny. Okay? Real reason why someone is here. The answer to the biggest question, what's the meaning of my life? And this starts to be revealed layer by layer when someone is ready. Like you guys are here because you're ready to hear this. You might not have been ready 6 months ago. So the soul destiny is revealed, and the soul only reveals as much as it feels you can handle at a given time. Okay? There's never too much to overwhelm you. It might feel like that, but you only get what you can handle in life for this. So any questions on the process here? Anybody? No, not yet. Okay. So I'm going to demonstrate it now because there'll be some people who haven't seen this before. Who would like a brief taster reading? Who hasn't had their chart done? Anyone want to volunteer? Okay, Michelle, we'll go for you. Okay, so
Sure.
You happy to be your soul on YouTube?
I am.
Okay. All right. So this is a soul contract software. So you guys who are watching, you can generate 4 free charts from soulcontractreader.com. Okay. So you put in your current name. Okay. What's your birth name, Michelle?
Michelle Dawn, Dawn.
Yep.
Edwards.
Okay. I won't put your date of birth because it's a public video, but we'll put your star sign. What's your star sign?
Scorpio.
Ah, okay. You happy for me to do this? Okay. Okay. All right. And then we'll put chart set labels. That's on there. So we go, okay, we've entered all the data. It doesn't take long. And we just run the chart here. Good. So what the system has done is it's converted the English into Hebrew sounds, like for example, CH is ches, it's one Hebrew sound. This is the Hebrew, and it's the Hebrew numbers drop out of that. Okay. And so this is different to normal conventional numerology, which assigns numbers to the Roman alphabet. In Hebrew, numbers are inherent within the Hebrew itself. So mem means the letter mem, but also means the number 13. So the number is inherent within the actual letter. So we're going to take that and we're going to allocate these numbers starting on a clockwise spiral. We're going to take all these numbers here. We go 13, 10, 6, 5, 12, 5. We go 13, 10, 6, or 13, 10, 8, 5, 12, 5. I've done the first 6 numbers. I'm allocating them around the star. I'm going to keep going until I use them all up. Then I add them up. Like the total here is 12. Okay, in spiritual karma. And I'm going to reduce that to the smallest possible number. 1 plus 2 equals 3. I've got a 12 and I've got a 3. Like that. So it's saying in spiritual karma, you've got a frequencies of a pure 12, which is just an English number for the letter lamed in Hebrew. And then you've got a 3, which is a gimel. Okay. There's a frequency of lamed and gimel. And you're going to experience, Michelle, the whole range of the mix of these frequencies, the blends of them in a lifetime on this continuum. It's like having hot and cold taps in the shower. Okay, that's your 12-3. The total, for example, of spiritual karma, that's got a combination letter. Total is 23. 23 is greater than 22. And there are 22 interpretations that Frank channeled from the soul of Moses. Yeah, so there's nothing meaning for a 23, so we simply go 2 plus 3 equals 5. So I'd reduce it to the first number between 1 and 22. 5 plus nothing gives me another 5, so we get a double letter. It's only one frequency, or in a range of frequencies. And we can see that all of your other numbers are double letters. Yeah. Yeah. Or double numbers, I should say. Okay. So I take these numbers, I take the physical numbers and I place them on the top half of the table. Spiritual ones, place on the bottom half. I add them up. I get a 43 and a 34. I've got to reduce this now, so it's between 1 and 20. 4 plus 3 is 7. 3 plus 4 is 7. It becomes your soul destiny. We pop it in the middle there. And then these channel symbols here also came through Frank. And they basically like gateways that are going to allow me to connect with your soul energy. So, Michelle, what's your main question about your life that you have at the moment? What's the big question? Don't hold back. We should be able to answer it.
My biggest question is probably like, what am I here to, like, what's my big mission? I know it's big, but I'm playing small. So what am I here to really do.
Okay. So you've got all these fives in the chart here. And the 5 is like a fetus. Okay. It's like a fetus here. So the thing like this. This is like pure spiritual energy, very etheric spiritual energy, coming out of abstraction to the earth plane. You're here to embody spiritual vision and turn it into a grounded reality. So the main thing is that you need to be involved in spiritual therapies or teachings that are pioneering and cutting edge, otherwise you get bored really easily, don't you? It's like, oh, that's everyone else is doing it. I'm bored. Let's move on. Next. Sound familiar?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And so you get very excited by visions, don't you, of the future that come from the abstraction of the higher dimensions.
Yes, I
And you can
love
say,
anything galactic.
yeah, you can stay excited for a very long time by that, can't you?
Hmm.
So the key here with the 5s, because it's very etheric and very ungrounded, is to ground it and turn it into a physical grounded reality that makes a difference down here. That's the tricky bit of the 5. Okay, so to move from being excited by the vision to actually being excited by the reality of this thing's actually being built or whatever you need to do, it's actually manifest in the world. So you need to look for cutting edge technologies or create them yourself to take out in the world, which is why you're attracted to this work, because this is all about truth of spirit. So you know when someone's not telling you the truth, don't you? It just feels right and feels really off.
Yep.
And you probably got in a lot of trouble as a kid for telling the truth, didn't you? Right.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. So you're a
I
truth.
was shut down.
You got shut down, suppressed.
Hmm.
So you're here to tell the absolute truth, pioneering truth from the high dimensions of spirit in a particular form that's resonant to you, and to turn that vision of that knowledge into a reality. Okay, and to overcome past life persecution for speaking the truth. You're actually here really to be a teacher. So there's 3 here in spiritual karma. You're here to be a spiritual teacher. So that suppression of your truth may have made you feel unworthy to be seen. Did that happen?
100%.
Yeah. There's a big plug of unworthiness here, which is blocking this internal canal. And this contains a library of precious soul knowledge that you brought to Earth. So your job is to clear out the trauma of being suppressed. Okay. And then as you do that, to pull out the layers of the unworthiness of this, which is blocking your teaching energy, so that you feel worthy to show yourself. This internal kind of library of knowledge, you can start to express that knowledge out in the world. I have the 3 here, and that's what's teaching you at the moment. Here to bring it out to the world. And also people are here to come into the canal to explore the library of knowledge that you carry. Okay. Do people tell you all these secrets?
Yep, that's why I've been a social worker for 20 years.
Yeah, they tell you the deepest, darkest stuff because they know you won't tell anyone else.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think you're doing social work to learn to ground here, to learn how the people with the matrix works. But I don't think it's your main vocation. I don't think you think it is either anymore. It's like you're looking for what's next. Okay. That's the reason you're doing it. Okay. To be out in the 3D world. It's pretty yucky out there, isn't it? It's pretty strange things.
It's very dense.
Yeah. Yeah. And also you're hypersensitive, aren't you? I'd say. So takes a toll on you, this doing that sort of work.
Yes.
Okay. Because you end up processing all the emotional garbage.
Mm-hmm.
You're here to really to teach spiritual knowledge, pioneering knowledge. The 12 here is this lamed. You're here to absorb lots of spiritual knowledge that's along this pioneering spiritual knowledge, and to take it into a higher form and then teach it out in the world. You're a synthesizer of knowledge, on what I can see here. And this physical talent 7 here, this is saying that there's a heart wound from childhood, probably from the suppression, and your inner child's gone and hidden away because she's scared of being seen bad and being rejected again. So she puts out a mask, a facade. Okay, She wants everyone else to look at the mask, so she's not seen. So there's two parts of you. And the idea is to heal the wound of the inner child, which will come from hearing the persecution as a kid. Okay, drop the facade, become one person, and to express how you truly feel and think in the world. And then when that happens, that'll magnetize lots of like-minded people to you, both personally and professionally. How are your networks, personal and professional?
They could be better because I've been in hiding.
Your sevens hide. You'd like to go on a mountaintop and never be seen again, wouldn't you?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of sevens hide on mountains, I've noticed. So it's all in caves. The actual interpretations are hiding in a cave in the Himalayas from society. And about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we had a subcontract reading one training, and one of the practitioners was actually living in a cave in the Himalayas for real.
I do love caves.
That's why. And she'd been there for 7 years. When I told her about this, she said, "Oh my God, I'm living it literally." And very quickly, shortly afterwards, she left the cave in the Himalayas, came back to England, back to London, and realized I have to be out in the world. I can't hide anymore. Pretty interesting. So it's sort of affirmed the interpretation. Okay. So as you open your heart, you attract like-minded people, both personally and professionally, and you're here to be a facilitator and synergizer of this group, not necessarily be the leader. There's a whole team for you to find, Michelle, for this mission. As light workers, we're programmed to, if we don't find anyone else, we'll just do the best we can. We might get 15, 20% of what we do, what we're here to do done. But if you open your heart, the whole team will turn up. Gradually, at the right time, we'll have complementary skills who can support you, and you'll get much higher percentage of the mission done. So that's the next step. So it's about finding your team, manifesting the team, and they will come. Every light worker has it, especially sevens. And also, this is about you attracting like-minded people for you to teach, pioneering knowledge, and also to empower them. There's a very powerful 9 in spiritual goals. You're here to catalyze people to awaken and empower them. Okay, and I think also working with higher frequency people will be better for your health, because you are processing all the emotional low density garbage that you've been dealing with. It's just a byproduct of having to ground. Okay. What I'll do is I'll post a link for something called Clearing Others' Energies. Okay, in the description. So you can release the imprint of 20 odd years of being a social worker. Okay, and you'll feel a lot better. Okay. Because you won't feel so, you've been feeling tired from it.
Oh, tired doesn't exhausted. Yeah, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, it's because all your energy's been drained because you're processing all this stuff. You'll find your energy will start to come back. Okay. And the soul destiny is basically saying the same thing. You're here to really create big networks of people, reach a lot of people as a spiritual teacher, empowering people in a pioneering way. Okay. How's that sound? This is your life, Michelle, in 10 minutes.
You know what? It's exactly what I've been feeling for years, but I've been so scared to step into it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask how old you are now, if you're prepared to say? I'll see where you are in the cycle.
Yeah, I'm 48.
Okay, so you are on the you're in the 7th cycle, so you really want to get on with it.
Oh yeah.
once you hit the this after 49 to already cut in. Once you hit 50, you really want to get on with it. So you're preparing for a massive shift. Okay, preparing for a massive shift.
I'm ready.
Yeah, we usually are about this time.
Yeah.
Also,
thank you, Nicolas.
Yeah, you're having the second Saturn return, so it's going to dig out a lot of stuff, a lot of the karmic stuff, so you can get on with it. But once you get into your 50s, then you'll sort of want to really take off with the whole thing. Okay.
Awesome.
So,
thank you.
Any questions on that? That's your life explained.
Yeah, no, it all makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's really about healing that inner child, it looks like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what you have the divine healing for, you see.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can only go as far on your mission as you've gone yourself. Okay, people will come to you with the issues you've worked on. That's what you discover as a subcontract reader if you come on the training. They all come because you just worked on an issue. Could have been half an hour ago or the other day. And so you become an expert on that issue. And people are going to turn up will have very similar numbers to each of you because they come not from what you know, but from who you are in the journey you've been on. So you know what you're talking about. Okay. All
Makes
right.
sense. Thank you.
Okay. So that's a brief summary. So for those of you guys watching, if you can generate your free chart at soulcontractreader.com. If you want to find out what it means, you can. Let me find the links here. Where's it gone? Yeah, don't worry about this chart. Don't worry. You can basically get the book, Your Soul Contract Decoder, which is an Amazon #1 bestseller, yoursoulcontractdecoder.com. Get the book. Oh, it's about $15 on Amazon. Well, it's even cheaper as the Kindle version, but I recommend the paper book because you need to flick through it a lot. You can find out what it means. So you can find out what it means just like Misha found out just now. Okay, this soulcontractreader.com for actually generating the chart, free chart. If you're in a hurry, aren't you, Michelle? A lot. Who's in a rush? 12-3s tend to be in a rush. Or you more chilled out now?
Yes, I take on a lot of stuff and I burn out. I've burnt out so many times in my life. I've lost track. So yes, I'm always go, go, go. And then I burn out and then I have to slow down.
Yeah,
So I'm
that's a
learning.
12-3. It's the expansion of knowledge. So for those of you 12-3s out there who think, oh, I don't want to read the book, I want to find out what it's all about. We have a faster way. I have a 12-3. So you can get this thing here called yoursoulcontractreport.com. And so what happens as a result of the book, a lot of people said to us, or me, said, okay, I figured out my chart, I read the book, I figured out me, but I have about 10 other people want to figure out. I don't want to have to go through the book and do it all again manually. Can I just press a button and produce all the information? So we worked on that and we came up with this thing called subcontract reports. And basically, for those of you in a hurry, which is most people nowadays, you can get a summary report, a bit like what Michelle just got there, which gives you a taste of your life, highlights the interpretations. You find out what the hidden meaning of your life is. It's actually a 3-page report now. And basically, you can go to the site here, one of the pages on our website, and just enter your name, pay for it. It's $13.99 or $18. We can buy multiple ones if you want. And one of our team will generate, a practitioner will generate it to you, and they'll send you that PDF report if you really want to find out in a hurry. It's a taster, a bit like a little less than what Michelle had because she had specific questions she asked. You can't actually ask any questions with it. It's just based upon the book interpretations. But it's a start to give you a taste. So you can spend 80% of your time on 20% of the things that actually matter. If you really want to go really deep, okay, you can try this. This is the full report. And this full report is 140 pages. In-depth interpretations based upon the manual and the training and the book. Specific recommendations on how to overcome them to really empower you to master your life. And that's about $70 and that's about $90. £70, about $90. For those of you who really want to know. It takes a while to absorb the 140 pages because you get the in-depth interpretations, plus we put a lot of supporting text in to coach you and hold you through understanding and putting into action your report. So it's the best thing we could do with this sort of technology without actually talking to a live practitioner. And that's the next step beyond this. But for those of you who just want to get a taste, this is a pretty good place to go. If you want to find out about your life. It takes a few months to absorb one of these. but people get a lot out of it. Okay, so we take you through the process of each aspect, 7 aspects, recommendations. How do you work with them? All the different things that are happening in your life. We talk about that. How do you actually work with that? Very powerful information. So that's the other way, if you are in a hurry. Okay, and then beyond that, it's really having a reading from a practitioner. Okay, so you guys are interested in being practitioners. Here's what happens. So this is the next level again. If you are a therapist, counselor, coach, consultant, training or workshop facilitator, the spiritual map of life of your clients or students is revealed in all its glory, so that you will have an immediate and profound understanding of their issues, which can accurately guide you throughout all your work with them. And it dissolves the ego's defenses, which is trying to keep them from awakening, because when the truth comes out, truth resonates at a very high level. The ego just dissolves. People say, yeah, that's all true. And then you've just saved you and them so much time, energy, and money. You just get on with it, the work. It immediately builds trust and it produces better and faster results, because the soul contract is telling you what is creating all the presenting symptoms in a client. So then you can focus divine healing or whatever the tools you use on dissolving those things. And when you have that really strong focus, the ego will dissolve much faster. And people will get on with their lives. Okay. So let's go through this here. So what happens in the training? The training is 5 days, and you will learn a structure online on Zoom. You will learn a structure that will help you understand yourself and everyone else in your life, which will improve your relationships because you'll know what's driving those around you. You can flow with them rather than, often we work against people because we don't understand what's driving them. And we're hardwired by our soul contract. So when you understand what's driving someone from a hardwired viewpoint, it's much easier to flow with them. And what you'll learn is that you'll learn how to give readings based on the people's birth names. Okay, so there's 2 parts of the training. The first 3 days we spent explaining what the 22 numbers mean, but we do it not from the viewpoint of, how many of you guys have got the book, Your Soul Contract Decoded? Okay, we're not giving you more of the book. Okay, what we're doing is that we're giving you a full-bodied experiential transmission. You sit in the field for 3 days, and we aim to get around all the students, where you will share about your specific karmic or goal aspects for one of the numbers. And that direct subjective experience and emotional transmission, you will never forget it as your fellow students talk about what a 3 is like or a 9 is like, and disempowerment or unworthiness. So what you're getting is you're getting an activation into the energy, so you become the work. It's not about learning more, you become it. So it's a quantum leap beyond the book. You can't sort of put that in a book, really. So after 3 days of sitting in the field of those 22 frequencies of God, you have become the work. All right. So it's experiential learning. It's very right brain energetic. It's not about feeding the left brain at all. Well, not as much as you'd like. And then we have a day's break so you can integrate that transmission. And the last 2 days are spent where we teach you how to hold space, and you go into Zoom breakout rooms, which are private Zoom spaces with just you and your partner. You prepare beforehand and you deliver a reading to your partner, and then you receive a reading from your partner. So, and then you embody and express the transmission of the work, and we teach you the techniques for giving a reading through demonstration. And you'll be amazed at how good you are. My method think, I've only had 3 days to doing this. How can that happen? But it does. So basically you become, with practice, which is required, especially in the first couple of months after training, you become a really good reader. Okay, with dedication. And people are surprised at how good the readings they give are and how much they learn about themselves, because each time you get two pet practices. Each time you have a reading, you learn something else, because each reader has a different filter in the way they look at somebody. So you're going to learn an enormous amount about yourself. And you're going to learn how your channel works and how to develop it, because it's like a cosmic conversation. There's two higher selves having a chat up here, and then you're here, and your client's here. So their higher selves coming through you, through the structure, giving them what they need to hear at the moment to move from wherever they are in their life, out of stuckness, stagnancy, as you were talking about, Michelle, to move forward in life. And has this unstuck you, this reading today, a little bit? Has it got you moving?
Yes, I think it helps me know where to go next for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is what you'll do with this work. You decide to come. So this is the experiential learning. So you'll start to remember how to do this, because you already know how to do this, but you'll start to remember how this works. And when we have ongoing professional development, we have a Facebook peer-to-peer support group. Okay, there's a community of 300 plus practitioners who will, some of them have done this for 20 odd years, who will support you in getting the work out there. So you don't have to do it all by yourself. It's quite a busy community. We also have, you get a support call a month after the training, but then we have an optional paid for support program, which is 4 2-hour sessions over a period of about 5 or 6 months. And that helps you take what you learned in the fifth dimensional love bubble, we call it, of the training. It's very safe, very high frequency. How do you take that out into the 3D world and rubber meets the road in terms of working with clients? How do you prepare, deliver readings, issues on how to run your business as you adapt to using this technology? And the guys who do that tend to really get up and running and get it integrated and actually make a difference. That's why we have the support program. That's what people have asked us for. So we've responded to that with us. So our aim is to get you out in the world to maximize the return on consciousness on Earth, which is why the Center for Conscious Ascension exists. Okay. And we're not focused on maximizing return on investment, which is like a normal business. Obviously, we have to pay the bills and have to run it like a business, but we're here to raise consciousness. And you become part of our team who are doing that. Okay. So what will happen to your clients as a result of this? Well, this is what will happen. Because people are feeling a deep peace when they hear the truth of their lives read so profoundly and accurately. If you remember how it was when you read the book, just the lights went on. Okay. This is what you can do by sharing this with someone live. A feeling of relief to know that there's actually an order and a meaning to all the disparate experiences they've had in their life. And it enables those who feel like victims or they feel stuck to actually take charge and move from wherever they are. We teach you how to take someone wherever they are and take the next step. Okay. I mean, even I feel stuck sometimes in life. But then I look at my contract, oh, that's what's going on. And I do some divine healing and we're unstuck. Okay, but even I forget to do divine healing sometimes, because such is the unconsciousness and power of the ego, even though I've been doing this for a very long time. So the tools work together very well. And so people start to live their true purpose. I mean, about 90% of people who are in normal corporate 3D jobs are emotionally disconnected from their work, according to Gallup, which is pretty sad testament to Western society, or society on Earth. So what we're doing here is we're aligning people to their true purpose so they can be part of the 10% who are fulfilled by what they do, not just doing a job so that they can pay the bills and the mortgage, get the kids through college, that sort of stuff. Okay. So it creates happier lives, this work, more fulfilled lives. Okay. So what you're doing is we teach you how to show people where they are on that spiritual map of life. So this is their life flow. And you say, well, you're about here. And here are some challenges, but here's how we work around them or through them. Okay. So we teach you how to help people do that. So they align to their purpose rather than sort of going off the path, which is what most people do. We help them bring them back on track. and it touches their inner being immediately and profoundly, creating a very trusting connection. So you can go much deeper in your work with them. And I've been doing this for 35 years, but it still amazes me the power of this work. And so it opens you to a deeper level of yourself, into connection to others. Okay. All right. So it's very experiential, as training. So this just reinforces what I said earlier. You'll be preparing and giving readings in the group in the last 2 days, so you can actually deliver readings soon after the training with a bit of practice. Normally you practice with your classmates and then with friends and family, and you can go on to paying clients. So it's a gradual, you gradually shift out into the world with this work. Okay. So that's what it's all about, the training. So any questions, people? Or you do any more? Say any more? Michelle?
I'm just curious to know, like, how in a reading, because I've had, like, you know, that mini reading with you, and then I've seen my chart, but how do you, like, you talked about like the soul map or the spirit map of how to, like, where they are now and how they get to the next steps. Like, how does that look in a reading? Can you speak more to that?
Well, we teach you how to engage with the client emotionally by asking them open questions about their karmic patterns. Like for you, I would say, did you get suppressed for speaking your truth? And you said immediately yes. So basically, we connect your subjective life experience with what the numbers are. So it builds trust in the system. And then we explain what the number karmic pattern's about, how to overcome it, what talents you have to overcome it, just like I did then very briefly, what goals you have to achieve. And through the dialogue, it's not a data dump. It's actually, we're trying to speak about 50-50. That's how we train you. So you're having a cosmic dialogue, and what will come out of that is how far your client has progressed through their life. But you can't work it out beforehand. There's no point. But only through the preparation, which takes about an hour more when you're starting, you turn the numbers into someone's life. So you actually see how far they progress through it. Once you start to see the landscape, the energetic landscape they've been through, then you can see, they're about here. These are the issues. Now I know what to say about how to unstick it. So it's very much a live spiritual dance. It's not a pre-prepared thing in terms of what you're going to say. We'll teach you, make lots of notes, but usually what happens after all, you just forget about the notes, but because it's uploaded into your subconscious, you just enter into the dialogue and you'd be amazed what comes out of your mouth. Okay, so it's going to be in the moment. So we teach you to trust the spiritual signature, the flow, or what's the next right thing to say. It's a cosmic dialogue. It's like surfing this thing. You just got to be in the energy, and it will all come out of you. Okay, does that help?
Okay. Yeah, so it's kind of an intuitive higher self download as you're going and communicating together.
Totally. Okay. Yeah, totally through the structure of this work.
Yeah.
Okay. We teach you how to do that. That's the art of this. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Ruth?
Excuse me. Could you take a moment, excuse me, to help me understand the originators of this work a little bit further? How
Yes.
it all started 20 or 30 years ago.
Yeah. Frank Alpha, my teacher, who was based in Phoenix at the time, he was driving in the desert in the 80s, and then the soul of Moses came to him and said, the concept was numbers and letters in Hebrew have the same energy, same frequency. And that was the beginning of 9 months of channeling of these interpretations. Okay, that's how it came about. Then he started teaching it. And Almira Ariel Haller, who co-founded the center with me, I did the training, but we took the knowledge and we basically expanded it from our own clinical experience of doing thousands of readings over 20, 30 years. and we produce what you see in the book. It's much greater than what Frank originally channeled. But we aimed to maintain the integrity of the original teachings. We did ground some of the language because some of it was what we call Frank speak. It was actually quite hard to grasp for most people. So we translated some of it, but we aimed to maintain the original transmission and to teach it. So you're entering into a lineage if you come on the training. It's Frank to me, to Almira, then to you guys. So by being part of that lineage, you plug into all the knowledge of all the people who are trained in this. So that's the original source of it, where it comes from. And the aim is to continue the work. I mean, Frank was writing a book, but he never finished it before he passed over in 2007. So he was guiding me a lot, especially in the case studies for Your Soul Contract Decoded. So the book got out there eventually, okay, of the work. So this is the source of it. And we're trying to maintain this lineage so it continues to serve people on Earth. It's very important. So that's why it's very important to acknowledge where it comes from. Okay, this work. Some of my other students call it different names and don't acknowledge they train with us. They do things like that, but it's just where they are in their path. But they reach people in their own way and it grows. But we're the main source of it in the English-speaking world now. Yeah. Okay.
And then after a while, was it Almira that channeled an archangel?
She channeled divine healing, okay, with Roshan and Mary, as they were known at that time. They channeled divine healing from 2005 onwards, and there's 5 levels of that now. So she's the source of that because we needed a tool to clear all our emotional stuff and to help our practitioners clear the stuff, and the soul contract practitioners clear the stuff in themselves and in their clients because they say, okay, here's a big can of karmic worms. What are we going to do? Mm-hmm. So she came up with this, you see. Mm-hmm. That's how divine healing was born because she asked source, I need some help. And so this is how divine healing came about. Okay.
Okay.
So the two go together very well. They're sort of like peas in a pod, the way it works.
Thank you.
Okay. You got any other questions, Peyton? You got any other questions?
I feel like I did earlier, and I've been trying to remember it for like 5 minutes, and I can't. So it must not have been that important, or maybe you answered it, and maybe that's why I don't have it. I don't know.
Okay. All right. You guys, Michelle or Bruce, anything else you want to ask?
I have one more. So I know you go into this in level 2, like the overlays of names and things like that.
Yeah.
If say somebody gets married and then divorced,
yeah,
and changes their name back to their maiden name, does that energy from that divorce still play out, like their old name, the overlay name?
Yeah. So just to clarify the levels first, level 1 is aimed so you can deliver good birth chart readings and to better differentiate between the 22 Hebrew numbers because there's a lot of information, as you know from the book. Level 2 is to take you, once you've done enough readings, you've got to do at least 5 of those before you come on level 2. Where we take, it's a quantum leap where we explain all the hidden dynamics of relationships. We can explain what goes on in that situation. So when you have a relationship with somebody or you use a different name when you get married or whatever, those names are like layers of icing on the cake of your birth chart and they infuse into it. Okay, and help you grow and change in different ways. And we contract to have those names and those people in our lives. So we can show what we do in level 2 is we show you the chronological journey of all the journeys, all the different names you've used, relationships you've had. So adds another high level dimension to the birth chart of someone's journey through life. So you can understand relationships, you understand why they worked or didn't work, why there are clashes in families. We show you how to understand family dynamics, how to raise the kids, why they do what they do, and why some people just don't get on and never will. Okay, because there's clashes in the energies. and we often name a baby. We've been lucky in the past few years, we've named newborns. We teach you how to optimize names for babies and for adults, so you can give a child the best possible start in life, and how to optimize people's names so that it infuses the right frequencies from the icing of the new name, energizing, to overcome the karmic and goal patterns, to actually and align them where they consciously want to go. So basically reprogramming them to create the life they desire. Because we have free will choice on what happens. So it's never going to turn out exactly the way the soul thinks. It's going to go head in a general direction. Or we can help people get on the path that really resonates with them, which will be a product of their life experience. And that's the unknown bit for the soul, because it can't interfere once it sets you in motion. But hidden within each person is an optimal name, or multiple ones to choose from, which can send you in slightly different directions, depending on you at a personality level, what you desire to do. So level 2 is very potent, because after level 1, people say, okay, Michelle, I understand me. Now I want you to explain the family and all these other people in my life. Let's go. That's the next thing they say to you. And that's what level 2 is about. That's the really juicy one, because it's like the dynamics of our relationships are our greatest learning. And if we know what's creating it, we can navigate it more gracefully and create more harmonious relationships. Or decide that, okay, this marriage is never going to work because it's obvious in the numbers. So we don't just keep doing things from a place of hope when there is actually no way energetically it's ever going to work. Okay, so we can give people clearer answers so they can make more informed choices on how they move forward. Very good for raising children, because you can customize parenting with the kids, moving from a generic approach to actually giving you a really conscious approach on what you're doing with them. So level 2 is very powerful. Does that help?
Yes. And that's in July, correct? That training?
That's in July. We may make it a week later, because I've got something else that just came up. So it's either going to be the date on the website, or it's going to be the week after. So hold both dates. We're still trying to make a decision there. Okay, so I don't normally want to like moving things, but something's come up which I've got to sort out. Okay, right?
Yep. Thank
And there's only 2 levels?
Peyton?
Oh, sorry. There's just 2 levels?
Yeah, there's a third level, level 3. And level 3 is it's not just the knowledge. There are 3 transmissions of this work. So the third transmission fully activates you, but you can still do very good stuff with the first 2 levels. The third level is about maximizing success in business, usually spiritual businesses. So we teach you for your own business, which is what we use as case studies, how to optimize your legal, trading, website, and product and service names to maximize attraction of the right niche of clients. So make sure, we call it fire and forget marketing. Basically, if you get that right, they'll come anyway, with a lot less effort, because you're just putting the right frequency out. And we talk about how your business is an external holographic manifestation of your own soul journey. So we help you align the energy of your business with your soul journey. If it's aligned, it'll flow, it'll work. If it's not aligned, it won't work. Okay, and so we can help you set up your websites, your products, everything, so that all the right people come. That's what we do. And so we don't do search engine optimization. We don't spend any money on Facebook ads or on Google. We don't have to. People turn up anyway by getting the right energy. That's how we do it. We use it for everything. We can get like 50, 60% open rate on emails by teaching you how to do the right sort of headers, which is unheard of. But that's normal. If we get less than 30%, we think we've done it. It hasn't worked very well. Okay. So we teach you how to program the names of businesses depending on what your unique offering is. So you get the right people coming for the right energies. So you can do it for yourself. Usually we work on all the practitioners of businesses, wherever they are. That's the training, basically. And everyone ends up with a much more highly tuned business to create a lot more success in reaching people. But then you can take it and apply it to your clients, because if they're spiritual people coming, say, okay, we've sorted out your name, birth name, your family and relationships. And they say, okay, sort my business out now, Michelle, because I can see what this is about. Then magic happens, things really transform. So that's the third level. Okay. That's my favorite one to teach. So, but they're all good. But they're all quite distinctly different. Does that help? Yep. Anything else, Ruth?
The question I have is, have you seen these spiritual businesses work with a children population?
Yeah, we have people who work with kids, and we can program in the right frequencies for children, which is usually a 13th the divine feminine. And so we can get it programmed to attract the right sort of parents, right sort of children, meet specific needs of your niche market. Once we understand all that, you can just program the numbers in. They become the criteria for what numbers to look for in the business. We talk a lot about that. Okay, who is the customer? What's the profile of that particular market niche? What do they really need? And we put those numbers in there, then they come. See?
Okay. Good to hear. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else? Peyton, you going to say something to me? You remember?
Yes. I'm not sure if I would be able to do this whole contract, like, because my grandma's coming and my dad's birthday. It's all like just last minute, and my dad's birthday is the second. So is there another time for soul contract one?
There will be. We run one in autumn. Let me just take a look at the schedule. I'll tell you. Okay. Gotta go and find it for you. Just gotta look at my calendar. It's up here somewhere. Let's have a look. Okay, so have a look. Okay, I got that. That's fine. Okay, so I'll talk about the dates for the one coming up first. I'll do it in order. So then I'll get to autumn. So the upcoming training, it runs twice a year. The Western Hemisphere training is 26th to 28th of February for the transmission of the first 3 days of the numbers. Day off to integrate that. You just need to rest. And the 2nd, 3rd of March is where we teach you how to give readings. Okay, and that runs from 12:30 to 8:30 p.m. UK time, 7:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Pacific, 5:30 a.m. Mountain Time, 6:30 a.m. Central Time, and 1:30 p.m. European Time. Okay, so the one in autumn runs from the 19th of September. 19th, 20th, 21st, first 3 days, 22nd is a day off, and 23rd and 24th of September are the last 2 days. Okay. And you guys watching can find out about soulcontractreading.com there. The full fee is £718 or about $835. It'll vary because the exchange rate changes a lot. And you can secure your place with a £277 or $322 approximate US dollar deposit, which is included within that. Okay. You can get to us earlier, Peyton, if you're a night owl, though, because we have an Asia Pacific training here, but it starts for you. It would start at 12 midnight to 8 a.m. in the morning, but we do have people come because they can't wait. Okay. So if you can do it earlier if you can handle that. Some people do. They just basically think it's like going on a long haul flight. They basically have 5 days of reversing their clock, and people do come on that. That runs the 29th to 31st of May, and the 2nd and 3rd of June. I start at 6 a.m. UK time because that's the earliest I can teach at, because we have people in Australia and Asia. Australia, for example, Australian Eastern Standard Time is 3 to 11 p.m. It's like Sydney and places like that. New Zealand is 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. We get people coming from Hong Kong, Malaysia, the Middle East, the Gulf. It's 9 a.m. in Gulf time. India, 10:30 a.m. So that's the Asian slot. Same price.
Okay.
It's earlier if you're really keen. So you get there 5 months earlier if you really want that.
Okay.
So
thank you.
we have ways to cope. We sort of recommend taking homeopathic, no jet lag tablets and stuff like that. So think of yourself on a long haul flight for a week, and then you just adapt to that, and people seem to manage. But sometimes we have more North Americans on it than Asians simply because they can't wait. Okay.
Yeah.
That's actually what happens. Okay. All right.
I might do that. Thank you so much.
So that's the earliest possible option. Then rest for 3 or 4 days just to get back in the Texas time zone. I mean, I have to get up 4 in the morning, so I'm on the jet lag tablets. We tell you where you can get those. So I'm on the long haul flight for about a week as well. So, and I'm sleeping. I'm going to bed a lot earlier as well. Takes a little while to adjust, but you know, just see how it feels. That's for you. Okay. So that's what's on offer, people. Love to see you there. Change the world. Anything else you want to say, or before we close? No. Okay. You've been great audience, and asked some great questions. Thank you, especially Michelle, for bearing yourself. Okay. Good for your sevens. Show who you are. Hopefully you see you on the training. Any other questions, just email me. You've got my email. Video will be out in a few days' time once we've processed it. And Tony, our training coordinator, will get it sorted out. Okay. So thank you. All right. We'll
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thanks, Nicolas. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.